Well, the 2020-2021 season is officially in the books. The Champions League finals complete. The Europa League's finals complete. And we got some things to talk about. This is Red Card Radio.
Europe is blue.
Bro, it's the title screen right now. Why are you talking?
Not supposed to talk.
Just always messing up. Bro, you don't respect the podcast. All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. My name's James. This is Red Card Radio. We're at the end of the season, so we're a little bit less organized tonight. We're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants, just kind of going with the flow, going with where it takes us. But we finished the Premier League last week, but we still had to talk about these two European finals. So that's where we're at tonight. So we're not breaking down the Premier League. We're breaking down the Champions League final and the Europa League final. And we're going to, of course, be talking about your comments that you sent us from last week. And there were some inflammatory statements made by one of our presenters at the end of last episode. If you didn't get to watch that, you should check that out. Sean said some ridiculous things, we'll say.
They're not ridiculous.
It was crazy. You're losing this.
We're going to go to Twitter first. This is one of our first Twitter interactions.
Yes.
Emily on Twitter. This is her comment directly to you, Sean. It says, poor Sean thinks his team is well known because their marketing and logo. They send reject merch. They send reject. I'm quoting again. They send reject merch to third world countries so it doesn't go to waste. Trust me, as a DC sports fan, I feel your pain knowing there are children who think we are winners. End quote. My wife's laughing from the other room at you, Sean. She's just going down on you.
It's inherently wrong.
Inherently facts.
No, it's not.
Well, okay.
But let's keep going.
So Emily also had another comment for you guys. It was a quoted tweet. It's going to say, when I die and y'all go through my search history, you'll be disappointed to find mostly just definitions for very common words that I wasn't sure I was using correctly. That's in reference to listeners and co-hosts, i.e. you two, when I break out my fancy words.
We're not going to pretend to know what those mean.
Listen, hold on. Hold on now.
Hold on. Okay, what are we holding on for?
Your boomerism has got to go.
My boomerism?
Yep.
I'm absolutely the pod boomer. 100% I'm the podcast boomer.
No, but boverism.
Oh, boverism.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have to look it up, go ahead, James, since you want to pull out words that aren't necessary.
You're looking at your phone.
It's diction. It was the word of the day, Thursday.
You're looking at your phone, so I will not respond to you. All right, more comments. This is from Jimmy on YouTube. I'm the host here, so I get to decide where we go.
An exaggerated or especially glamorized estimate of oneself. Boverism.
You're such a clown.
Can I say my favorite comment?
No, not yet. Wait, what? What, Brad?
I have a favorite comment from this week's YouTube video.
Well, who's it from?
Jimmy.
Okay, yeah.
He's getting to it right now.
Yeah, Brad, tell us what your favorite comment was from
my favorite comment of the week. Sean is the new Brad.
No way.
So speaking of Jimmy,
your take was so bad you got to put on my level.
Yeah, but to be fair, he did agree with you that he didn't want Martinez as a manager. He thinks that he's kind of a middle table manager, doesn't know how to handle the bigger clubs. He's also afraid that Tottenham may try and go after the Dortmund manager. He does also agree with you, Sean, that he thinks that Tottenham's downfall this year or problems this year were 100% Mourinho's fault. But I think that's also because he doesn't rate Mourinho.
Just wasn't playing to the strengths of the team.
Yes.
It's not. I wasn't saying Mourinho is a bad manager, and I don't think any of you misconstrued that. I was just saying he did not. Sometimes as a manager, you need to play to what the team has. You need to adapt your tactics based on what your team has, and sit back and park the bus is not going to work when your defense sucks.
Yeah. I mean, you guys
it's just not going to work.
You guys were flying.
And it didn't.
You guys were flying high at the beginning of the season, scoring a lot of goals. I think the idea, the ethos of playing defensively works when you're scoring a lot of goals. But you guys stopped scoring goals, and so when you stopped scoring goals, you stopped being effective because you can beat Manchester United 6-1, but they still scored a goal. But if you don't score those 6 goals, you lose, right? So that's the idea. Yeah. Will had a lot of comments. I'm not going to go through all of them.
No, I got some of them.
Brad's going to take some of them later. What is it? He took issue to the fact that you said that you had a better squad than Juventus when you said that earlier in the podcast that 9 out of the 11 players that start for Tottenham would be gone in the summer or that would move on. He took issue to that. He had a comment about Weston McKennie. You said that Juventus don't spend money. He brought up Higuain for 90 million in 2016, De Ligt for 75 million in 2019, and that those are just the big blockbuster signings. He had
traditionally Juventus don't sign, like they don't spend a ton.
I mean
that's traditionally.
I think that's probably just like you don't see it.
Like it feels like maybe like once every 3 years they'll do a big deal and pick up a big player.
We're English club fans, and the PL has the most money. So like to us, a big spending spree is a lot more than what it would be in Italy or in Germany.
I mean, they did drop like what was it, 110, 120 for Ronaldo?
It was 100,
and they dropped 75 on De Ligt. I think it's a better purchase. I think
and 75 for De Ligt. I mean, I'm not saying they don't spend.
He did agree with you that, he said that the only reasonable thing you said in your Juventus statement was that AC Milan is a very prestigious club. While Juventus kind of have a stranglehold domestically in Italy, AC Milan have 7 Champions League titles, and so that's he doesn't take issue to people bringing up AC Milan as being a big club and holding them up. So that's fair. He left us with a quote though, and it says. At Juventus, winning is not important. It's the only thing that matters. So I don't know if you could say the same thing about Tottenham, Sean.
I guess wasn't a whole lot of mattering going on in Turin this year, huh?
They won 2 titles this year.
They are.
They won 2 trophies this year.
They won.
And if Ronaldo didn't come back, they wouldn't be in Champions League.
And it wasn't the Audi Cup that they won.
Ronaldo didn't play in the final game of the season that they needed to win.
He's on the bench,
bro. Get out of here. Anyway, Sean. Okay, we're gonna move on. Let's talk about the Champions League. It was a kind of, I don't want to say boring affair.
But you're lying. This was not a boring affair. This was a very open game. This was a really good game.
I don't know.
You're lying.
Maybe the reason why I say it was boring was because every time Manchester City had the ball, it didn't look like they were going to do anything with it.
I know.
I disagree.
Bully ball came through.
I don't know.
Hard.
It didn't look
Conte
like...
was everywhere, but I disagree with that.
Conte was everywhere. Reece James took Sterling completely out of the game in the first 15 minutes.
No, he did not. Sterling had a chance like 12 minutes in.
Right, and after that, Sterling disappeared.
Yeah, so this is my point. Like, to me, after Chelsea scored, it didn't seem like anytime City attacked that they got very far. That's my point. Okay, we kind of buried the lead. Chelsea won, clearly.
Chelsea won. Europe is blue. Who said Chelsea was going to win?
Again, we told you.
I don't give predictions. I give spoilers.
Stop. Here's the worst.
Who's going to win the Golden Boot? I called that too. Anyways.
Hey, Brad, who did you have in the Europa League? Was that a spoiler? Because you took Roma.
I don't care about the Europa League.
But then don't say that you give spoilers because you were clearly wrong there.
2 out of 3. That's 66%. That's not bad.
You also said Chelsea was going to finish 3rd.
We still got top 4. That counts.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
We're talking about spoilers.
Yes, it does.
Anyway, let's talk about the football match. Let's talk about the football match. It seemed like Pep overthought this again because he completely abandoned what was good for City throughout the season and tried this false 9 thing that didn't work. But it's I guess my question to you, Brad or Sean, is did Chelsea win the game or did did City lose it?
Chelsea won the game.
From my perspective, City lost it. They're clearly the better team. Like roster wise.
I think I disagree now because that's 3 times in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes
the worst team wins, Brad.
Right, sometimes, but not 3 times in a row. Anyways, what Pep tried with the false 9 is because that's how they beat us the last time. In the first game under
Lampard.
Under Lampard. I know, but he tried. So he tried City strengths the first game. We won. He tried matching Tuchel the second game. We won. So he went back to the false 9 where they had won. And under Tuchel, we won.
I kind of...
Did they have De Bruyne in the false 9?
Yes.
Yeah, but then he got
knocked out. Yeah, that was bad.
Well,
bad there.
For when he was in the game, to give Brad credit on this, De Bruyne was invisible.
Conte demolished him. Conte ate him alive.
Invisible. Yeah. He was like it was like he wasn't in the game.
I mean, right. I think Chelsea defended incredibly well, and like I said, I don't think that City did not look threatening. At all. They
had a couple of chances, like Sterling's over the top that Reece James got back and bullied him off of the ball, and just kept bullying Sterling till he just gave up. Aguero had a nice shot.
Was Mount playing left?
Yes,
he was okay.
Havertz was up top. Havertz and Werner were switching up top, and then Mount was going from left to right where Werner wasn't. Mount's pass was incredible.
Mount's passing. That wasn't the first or last time he did that off the sideline, from a clearance to the sideline and then a one touch into a lane. It was perfect.
Are we talking about the pass to Havertz?
Yes.
Well, what I was saying was it wasn't just that one. I wanted to point that out. Mount did that a handful of times.
Yes.
And that one just scored a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was beautiful.
Beautiful.
I would say that the pass was very good. It was well weighted. It was perfectly placed. But where was the City defense? Like,
the City defense was reacting. If you go back and watch the replay, what they're doing is reacting to Werner.
I understand that.
They pulled it open.
Yes, I get that. But Chelsea was passing the ball around in their back line. They make a couple incisive passes, quick one-touch pass to Mount. And where's their holding midfielders? Where are they? Because
they weren't in the game.
One center back goes with Werner, and then Havertz is just running free, and Stones is behind him, and there was no defensive solidarity.
It crossed his face, yeah.
That's what Werner does, though. Is having Werner on the field means you have to. It pulls the defense out of position, and that's why he started over.
This is every striker in football. Every center forward in football makes a run, and they're either tracked and they open up space for their teammate, or they're not tracked and they get the pass. This is not a Timo Werner thing. This is just what center forwards do. Timo Werner might be very dangerous because he's super fucking fast, and if you don't follow him, then you're out of a lot of trouble. But this is not a revolutionary thing that Timo Werner is doing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying he started over Pulisic because Pulisic drives at people where Werner runs them backwards.
I'm just saying
that's what I was explaining to Sean earlier. But
I don't understand how Pep set this team up and let them go out there like that, knowing. And this was not. It's not like it was in the 10th minute. It was in the 42nd minute. They have been playing football for 40 minutes, and this is what you let happen. It seemed like an incredibly soft goal to me.
It was amazing.
It seemed like an incredible. If that goal was scored against Arsenal, I would be fuming at the Arsenal players.
Yes, you should be for that. The lack of City just got beat.
It just was
one pass over the top is all we needed.
It was just so bad. It was a flat pass on the ground. How does that go for 40 yards?
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. I'm getting more angry thinking about it.
I think the CBS announcer mentioned this, and I kind of agreed. I didn't think I'd be saying this, but City needed Fernandinho.
Or Rodri.
They missed either one of them. It doesn't matter. You could tell it was sorely missed.
Yeah.
Having that sweeper center defensive mid having that type of player, that Conte. They didn't have a Conte.
No,
and they were getting worked.
And so I just don't understand.
You guys know Conte's been in a final every single year since 2016, since the World Cup.
Dude's a baller.
That's impressive.
That's
baller. Amazing. He's a
final. What do you mean?
Like a cup final.
I made some erroneous comments in our group chat at the beginning of the season when Arsenal signed Thomas Partey, and I said that I thought Partey was going to be better this season than Conte, and that was a absolutely horrible take.
Terrible take.
It was terrible,
but it's okay. We forgive you.
Yeah, because dude's a baller, and he is really good.
So, guys, when was the last time Chelsea won?
About
won the Champions League
about 4 hours ago.
No, okay, right. We won 2021, and then we won
Saturday.
Yes, Saturday.
Yes, on Saturday we won, but we also won in 2012. So, guys, have you guys ever heard of the Kennedy and Lincoln conspiracy theories? How like they're super similar.
I mean,
in their lives and in their assassinations.
I'm familiar with how they were both killed. Yes.
Okay, so. Taking the Kennedy-Lincoln thing, I'm going to compare the Chelsea of 2012 to Chelsea of 2021. As I told you, this was written in the stars. I've said this over the course of this Champions League season. But I'm going to do the easy ones first.
Hold on. To be fair, I'm going to push back on the written in the stars thing. That was just shtick that Tamzid was talking about when it was in Istanbul, and he was saying, when was the last time Liverpool won in 06? It was 06 with Istanbul. So
okay, and when Tammy left, I picked it up and ran with it. But let's
to be fair,
let's continue here.
It wasn't your shtick to begin with.
First thing, young, inexperienced manager fired mid-season. Check. Olivier Giroud becomes first Chelsea player to score 6 goals in a UCL campaign since Didier in 2012. Portuguese opposition in the quarterfinals. Spanish giants in the semis. Mendy has kept more clean sheets in the Champions League than any other goalie, except for Peter Cech in 2012. Tuchel becomes the first Chelsea manager to win 3 knockout games in a row since Robert Di Matteo. Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell become the first English players to score in the same UCL knockout game since John Terry and Lampard in 2012. Last time Chelsea conceded 1 goal over 2 ties to a Portuguese team in the quarterfinals was in 2012. But we're going to go past Chelsea, right? Manchester City won the Premier League in 2012, won it in 2021. United finished second in 2012 and finished second in 2021. Conte won the Serie A in 2012 and in 2021.
Oh, with Juventus, by the way. Just don't
with Juventus, of course.
That's Antonio.
Started their run of 9.
Antonio Conte, by the way.
Who's rumored to come to Tottenham. Probably still won't win a trophy there.
He's not coming.
He's not. He don't know. They offered him 17 million. He still said no. Okay. Anyways, I got 2 more. Real Madrid beat Barcelona 2-1 in April of 2012. Real Madrid beat Barcelona in April 2021 this year by 2-1. And Bayern Munich faced a French team in the quarterfinals. They lost. That's the only difference here. So they lost because they lost to PSG this year.
Oh, so.
But.
So
it was written in the stars that Chelsea was winning this year. The writers got together. They pulled the wool over Tamzid's eyes when he saw Liverpool, all the things pointing towards Liverpool, when it was really pointing towards Chelsea's victory. Let's go. Europe is blue.
That was the most
random facts.
Absurd thing I've ever listened to. That felt like 5 minutes of rambling.
I feel like I'm actually dumber.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm just giving out facts here, guys.
You won the Champions League. That's the only similarity.
I just listed 13 other similarities.
Okay, but where did you find these similarities?
Chelsea
There's a whole
Twitter.
thread.
Yeah, okay, so we're just regurgitating Chelsea Twitter.
And I knew these. And I've said these before.
This is the first time I've ever heard of this
That's a lie.
Lincoln Kennedy association.
Well, that part.
Do we even need to go into the Europa?
I think we should talk about it. I think there's some.
I actually thought it was a really good game.
I didn't get to watch that game. I was working.
I was able to watch about the last 60 minutes plus overtime.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch the beginning, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I mean,
hey guys,
what's up?
I got one more question.
Okay.
When was the last time Unai lost in the Europa League finals?
Dude, shut up. It was against Chelsea in 19 or 18 or whatever it was. In 19.
It was 19. 2019.
Guess what? Guess what? Guess who's the only team to ever beat Unai Emery in a final of a Europa League? Who is it, guys? I'll give our listeners a guess who it could possibly be.
I don't know.
It's written in the stars.
It is.
You're the worst, Brad. I don't I don't know why we let you rope us into this idea of doing a podcast with you.
So that I could gloat about Chelsea winning the Champions League.
Next year is a new year, boys.
Exactly.
New year, new me.
I didn't put up the Premier League table, but I could pull it out, and I will show you who's first in the Premier League right now.
We already did it. We did it last week.
No,
I forgot. There's one more. There's one more similarity. A London club gained promotion on the same day in 2012. Gained promotion today, so we have the final Premier League. Brentford has now been added.
Actually, interestingly enough, the 50th team to enter the Premier League. All time.
I saw it's the first time they've been to the top division since like 48 or 47 or something like that. That's awesome. I'm proud of them. I mean, that's awesome. I'm glad to have them. That's cool.
And they do some Moneyball tactics that we can get into over the summer.
Yeah.
How they've made their money and everything.
Let's talk about the Europa League. Manchester United, Villarreal, definitely a David versus Goliath situation, in my opinion. Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in world football, against Villarreal, who finished 7th in Spain. You disagree with that comment, Sean?
Yes.
Why?
United's as far as prestige, then yes, if that's what you're referring to. But as far as the clubs, it's been documented on this podcast. I don't think United's that good. They just beat who they're supposed to beat. Yeah. The whole season. They have not done well against the top 6. They just managed to draw them.
I mean, I think if you just put their players on a piece of paper against if you just compare them on paper and you compare the clubs, the players to players, what their values are versus, I think you would.
Sure, yes.
I think that's my point.
David.
Having said that, I did think Pogba played pretty well, which I haven't seen in a while. I thought he had a pretty good game.
I think he's kind of he's very up and down.
It was a really good battle between the midfielders, Pogba included, and Etienne Capoue. That was a really good battle.
I mean, I thought it was a good game. I like you, also only saw. Honestly, I forgot the game was on, and I turned it on at halftime because I forgot that it was on. So I watched the second half and all of extra time and the penalty shootout, which was great.
I couldn't believe they were all made.
That's
to the
phenomenal.
11th.
What's interesting about it is that
no one missed, no one got blocked. It was insane.
I mean, David De Gea has one of the worst save percentages on penalties in the Premier League for
but
years.
Somebody's bound to shank it.
Agreed.
Anything
Agreed. The Villarreal keeper did get hands on a few. But anyway, we're getting ahead.
Did too.
I don't think he touched any of them.
A few diving to his left. Yeah, he got a left hand on a couple.
Are you sure?
That were above him, diving to his right. Sorry.
I'll defer to you because you probably. I was cooking dinner at the time, so
I was at the pub like this. It was insane. After the 4th one, where everybody's making it, I'm like, what the? Nobody's shanking anything. Everybody's burying them.
I was pretty sure once United scored. Once they equalized, I thought that they were going to go on to win the game, but they just couldn't. They couldn't find the back of the net a second time.
I really had a feeling Harry Maguire duffing it into the 27th bajillion row. I thought that was coming,
but he was.
And then we could make fun of his son.
He's mad.
Oh no, he didn't play.
Yeah.
But that would have been the only thing that would have made it more fitting.
Where was
Harry Maguire putting it in the second?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Where was Bruno?
I mean, I didn't watch the game, but how is Bruno not doing something in this game? Not getting a goal, not getting an assist.
Because he's Bruno Fernandes. All he does is score penalties.
I mean, I know Fernandes, but
if you watch him play football, you're just like, I'm not that impressed by this person.
If he's their talisman, I don't know.
Their levels have dropped.
Pogba showed up more than Fernandes. I know, clearly. If Pogba had a better game than Fernandes, that's saying a lot because like Pogba most times.
Thought
I didn't
Pogba
watch the
played-
game clearly. I was at work. I mean, I was at work today, but I managed to watch the Chelsea game.
See, but I rate Pogba differently because a good game for him doesn't necessarily mean the ball's at his feet and he's doing well with it. He occupies defenders like not a lot of other attackers. When he's attacking, he occupies defenders like nothing else because they know he's dangerous as shit.
Yeah,
so they have to.
He can make a killer pass or he can take a killer shot.
Exactly, he can do both and do it with ease.
Right,
when he wants to. And he was occupying the defense. He was pulling defenders. He was getting in space where he needed to be. Like, I'm not necessarily saying like he was making the right pass or the right goal. Not pointing to those things. I don't know if it's on the stat sheet, but just visually watching the game, he had a good game.
So I have a question: Did De Gea's shot, was it missed or was it saved?
It was saved.
I think
I didn't know that.
I
really didn't.
Like it was technically saved, but it was a tame penalty. It was a tame penalty.
It wasn't very well struck.
Like,
oh gosh,
it was not well taken. And what's hilarious about this is that
he put it like low right,
but
or something like that.
If you think of like a goal and the goalkeeper's at 0 and you've got like plus 50 or minus 50 to his left and right. If you kind of think about it like on an axis, he probably put it at like plus 25 on the ground. It was not maybe plus 30. It was not very good. And so it was a very easy save.
I think fully stretched, if the goalkeeper fell over, he would have blocked it.
Just falling.
If he fully stretched and just fell to his left.
So yeah, it was a particularly bad, and that's probably the last thing he will do in a Manchester United jersey.
Yeah,
which is
where's he going, dude?
Hilarious. He's not going to be Dean Henderson's backup. I guarantee that. Like, do you think that the Spanish #1 goalkeeper is going to be cool with being Dean Henderson's backup?
Probably go to Villarreal. Probably not, because clearly their keeper was better.
Yeah, so I definitely think that. I mean, there's been rumbles of him leaving for years. If there was a working,
he wanted to go back to Spain for a while.
Yeah, if there was a working fax machine in Madrid, he would have been a Madrid player like 3 years ago, and Courtois would probably still be the Chelsea goalkeeper.
Yep.
Interesting.
So that's it. What's the schedule for the summer, boys?
Well, hold on. I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
I want to hear. I want to kind of put a bow on this season for us, for the three of us, and in relation to our teams and how you feel the 2021 season went for your team. Let's start, Sean. I want you to kind of tell me how you feel about the season. Are you disappointed? Are you happy? Can you not hear me?
Yep. Now I can.
So tell me how you feel about this season. Whatever thoughts, emotions, gripes, whatever. Tell me those things.
Oh, clearly it's disappointing. I feel like you probably feel the same way.
I'll let you know in a minute.
It's disappointing. I think the team clearly underperformed. If we overperformed during Pochettino, we underperformed this year. I don't think even towards the end, I don't think that top four were unreachable, which is saying a lot because that means we were still in striking distance down the stretch, given how poor we were for most of the season. And even watching the games we did win, it was still nerve-wracking. It never felt like we fully – you take out the 6-1 United. That was an anomaly. But you take out those type of games, other than that, all the other wins, it felt like we squeaked them out.
Yeah.
Which I'll take. I mean, you take those games, like Tamzi was saying, you take the grind-out games. You take the 1-0. You take the 2-1, the gritty ones. I'll take those, but it's still – I mean, you can point to what was it, 14, 15 points dropped from winning positions.
Yeah.
My anxiety was not misplaced. At any moment, we could have just gave up 2 and lost the game.
Yeah. Is there anything specifically you'd like to see Tottenham do in the offseason to
plead young Vertonghen to come back?
So defense?
No. Yes, we need. I really want Konate?
Konate's already gone. Konate's already at Liverpool.
He signed at Liverpool though.
Yeah.
So I really wanted him, but they're still talking about the defender. What is his name? The one in Italy. But he's like for Lazio or something. No, it's not Lazio. Dadgummit.
Do you have any gibberish names?
No.
That I can try and.
No, I'm not placing the name at all.
Okay. Well, I do know that there's a defender, a central defender that's available on a free. He's got beautiful hair.
He does. He has fantastic hair.
Is it Mustafi?
He's a Champions League winner.
Oh, it's Granit Xhaka. No, thank you.
No, he's a Champions League winner. It's not Granit Xhaka.
It's David Luiz.
Saka.
David Luiz is on a free, bro.
Absolutely not.
Or Willian. You want Willian? I think they're both going to be on freeze.
I mean, that's the word that he wants out, but
yeah.
Okay,
so frustration and defense is what you're thinking.
Just disappointing, and we clearly need better defense. I don't think that's any secret. And we need a real right back. Serge actually had a really good first probably 10 games, and I was really impressed. I thought he was coming around, and then it felt like he just ran out of steam. I mean, he's kind of old. I mean, he's like, probably 33, 32, somewhere around there. He's an old defender to be running up and down the wing.
You know better than I would. I'm surprised that you didn't say, I'm surprised no, I'm more surprised that you didn't say, a manager, like a breathing, living human being that can manage the football team.
I don't even care at this point. Just let Kane manage. I don't even give a shit.
Okay. So, no, he isn't a manager. Oh, my gosh. I can't find anybody. This job search has been going on forever. You would think a more prestigious club than Juventus could have a manager already.
Ironically enough, they signed a manager. Allegri came back. Yeah, I think that was today or yesterday.
No, they fired Pirlo and announced Allegri 3 hours later.
Yeah.
But okay. Brad, we're going to come to you last because you're going to be the most joyous of us.
Yes.
I agree with you, Sean. I'm disappointed in Arsenal this season. I'm frustrated that our season was tanked over the course of 10 games from November to December. In November through December. That 10-game stretch where we picked up 4 points in the Premier League, you can't go on a 10-game stretch and only get 4 points and finish anywhere near where you want to. I think the statistic is Arsenal since Christmas have amassed the third most points in the Premier League. So over the last 23 games, I think is what it was. We are third in the Premier League. That's encouraging, but it's frustrating. We clearly did good things this year in that we got some problematic personalities out of the dressing room. I know that there's some confirmation bias aspect to this with Arteta being we did move some people away, and there was been rumblings about bad apples and things like that, and most of it points to people like Ozil and Mustafi and Kolasinac and Guendouzi, those types of individuals in the changing room. They're all gone, and then Arteta's talking about how in the second half of the season we had a much better cohesion, and we had the bad apples were gone. There's only a couple options there, so it kind of seemed like maybe there was some bad actors in the team, and so it's good to move on from those players. We still have a lot of work to do in terms of moving on from certain players and what we can do moving forward. I think that we have a couple really bright spots from this season. I think Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, I think Pepe over the last 3 months. If Pepe can continue his form that he's been showing over the last few months into next season, I think that you're going to be eating a hat, Sean, because he's going to do big things next year if he continues his form. He might not. Who knows? So I think that there are things to look forward to next year, but definitely very frustrated with the way the season went. I didn't expect us to finish 8th. I definitely expected us to be challenging for the top 4, and definitely finishing in a Europa League spot. I'm happy that we got to a European semifinal. I'm disappointed in the way we went out of a European semifinal. I'm disappointed the way we went out of the FA Cup. I don't really care about the Carabao Cup because that's a youth tournament for us for all intents and purposes. But yeah,
I will say, and I don't compliment Arsenal a lot. The benefit to you guys and to Chelsea, honestly, is you guys are young and improving.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why we don't have a manager. Our roster is old and needs turnover.
Yeah.
So the only way that's appealing is if a manager feels, I can flip this entire roster into what I want.
Yeah, and it's got to be
have money to spend.
This is a project type thing. You got to have a manager who's interested in a project and implementing a philosophy.
And they're not old. They're just like, how old Saka? Probably 19, 20?
Yep.
Emil Smith-Rowe, Odegaard.
Same age.
Name drop. Chelsea's the same way. It's just young, and improving.
Yeah.
Getting better every game. It felt like Saka was getting better every game I watched him.
Yeah, I think his biggest issue was just the amount of games that he had to play and the amount of games that he was like the most important player for Arsenal at 19. Like that's a lot to be asking.
And he'll grow into that.
Yeah.
You're right. It is a tough ask of a 19-year-old, but he'll grow into that.
For sure.
He'll be fine.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not concerned. But so those
It's scary.
I'm happy. Brad, tell us.
Brad, what do you got?
Yeah, how do you feel about this season?
I told you we wanted to wait till this week. I loved the season. The season was great. That's a lie. This season was nerve-wracking for most parts of it. The ending was fantastic. So, the ends justify the means. We got our trophy. Chelsea wins trophies. We're Europe is blue. There's not really much to complain. We got our top 4 spot. So we were able to play free, have fun out there today. Like Sean said, we're young, we're improving.
Also scary.
Probably some small holes. Like we need some central defenders. Our defense is old.
It was sad to watch Silva go out today. Honestly,
yeah.
I didn't shed a tear or anything, but that was you could tell he was frustrated. Like his body just wasn't responding the way he wanted it to, and he was really frustrated to come off.
Especially just he just jumped up. It wasn't even like a physical.
It looked like it came down weird on his leg or pushing off to the jump. It was hard to tell.
It was a groin injury.
Okay, yeah. So it must have been on the push off.
Yep. So there was no contact either. So it definitely hurt.
You could tell in his face he was frustrated that he had to come off.
Yeah, I need us to either tell AC Milan they can't have Tomori, or we need to sign the center back.
Is that's his first trophy, or his first Champions League trophy, right?
Correct.
He played most of his year. Played most of his career with PSG. I don't know if he was anywhere before that. That would have been in there. Was he Barcelona?
No.
Where was he before PSG? He's been at PSG for a long time.
Inter. I think he played for Inter, didn't he?
AC
Milan.
Oh, so he might have won with them in, what was that, 2011?
He played for AC Milan from 09 to 12.
Yeah, I believe they won in 2011.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so that's not his first one. Okay, so he has.
But he was. I wonder if he's the first player to be in the final in back-to-back seasons with a different team. I don't know.
Probably.
Because I know Tuchel is the first coach to do that.
I don't think so. I mean, you have. If I were to take a stab in the dark, I would say Toni Kroos.
Kroos didn't
Bayern to
Madrid.
Yeah, going from Bayern to Real.
Maybe.
If I had to take a stab in the dark, I would, or someone like I know Zlatan's never won it, but Zlatan going from Inter to Barca,
wherever. All of them. AC.
I just would venture to guess he's not the only one to have done that.
Tuchel was the first coach to have done that. To coach 2 different teams to the finals in back-to-back years.
I would believe that.
But, I'm really happy
Wait, actually, probably not. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Pep going from Madrid to Bayern.
He is.
Pep going from
Bayern never made the finals. He always got knocked down the quarters.
Okay, yeah. So that one I believe, but I don't know about the player.
But no, overall, super happy. We got a little bit of work to do in the transfer window, but
Like what?
not a ton.
Like what?
I want a center back. Like I said, if AC Milan buys Tomori, then we need a center back. Rudy, Thiago, and Dave Caesar are all 30 plus. So Reece James showed he could play back there. Zuma and Christensen. Christensen's good.
I like him.
I like him in a back three. Like I think he's awesome in a back three.
I like him like I like Davinson Sanchez. Like he's really instinctive, but f's up a lot.
Zuma's good in a back four, and we're not really playing that. Like I would rather have Zuma leave and bring Tomori back.
I actually read earlier this week Premier League panel on Twitter. That's a good Twitter follow. Breaks down games a lot, and he actually said about 2 days ago that that Chelsea, if they're smart, would go with a back three with Azpilicueta and let Reece James play on wing back, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Well, no,
and they called it.
Not at the beginning.
Oh, that's how it was. It moved
at the beginning. Reece was at the center back because that's how he was bullying Sterling. He wasn't on the wing back. After that, like 20 minutes in, they swapped.
Oh, okay.
Right. But
yes,
Sterling was out wide.
No, when Sterling was making those in runs is when he was on Reece James.
I mean, he might.
In 20 minutes in, they swapped.
Okay, I didn't.
It's still his responsibility.
Okay.
As a wingback to track him. But anyway.
Okay.
I just thought once I saw the game play out, I just thought of that. Of wow, that guy, whoever runs that account, called that. Yeah. That's exactly what they needed to do.
Reece James has been playing right wing back, and Cesar Azpilicueta has been playing right center back. Like, and that's how it's been.
He's a really good. And he was your captain today. Is he normally your captain?
Yes, he is our captain. Yes, another defender captain.
He's a really good.
John Terry was captain in 2012.
Anyways. All right.
Like I said, I'm super happy with the season. We're building. I'm super excited for next season.
He's the worst.
I am. We know this.
That's all we had. All we had planned for tonight.
Hold on. I got some trivia questions for Sean. Hey, Sean, what club has lost the most Champions League finals?
I'm gonna guess someone who's there a lot. Barca, Madrid, Bayern. I don't know.
Juventus. These trivia facts are brought from Will.
Congratulations on losing a lot. All right,
so let's do this.
They've also won twice.
Congratulations on losing a lot. What's the next one?
All right, so how many trophies has Juventus won since Tottenham last won a trophy?
We're going to pause. Juventus.
Yeah, Juventus.
Who cares, Ventus? What's the next one?
Juventus.
Okay. How many trophies has Juventus won since Tottenham last won a trophy?
I don't know. How hard is it to beat Cagliari?
19.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of trophies. You know what? If I was playing Torino twice a year, I'd probably win some trophies.
You played Fulham twice a year. You played Sheffield United twice a year. You play Newcastle twice a year.
It's well documented. The English league is a lot better, top to bottom.
Okay,
it's well documented.
That's because we follow it more. I bet you, like, if this was an Italian league podcast, yes.
This is not an Italian podcast, and I've watched Serie A because it's on TV. These teams are bad.
Okay. Anyways,
I've watched Parma play.
How many Ballon d'Ors does Juventus have?
That's not a good one. I would guess 2.
8.
Oh, what are we counting? The 30s? What are we counting? The 30s?
You forgot Perlo had a ton of it. Wait, I got one. Tottenham has outdone Juventus.
Thank you.
In one thing.
It's a trophy-related category.
It's a trophy-related category.
Audi Cups.
Well, 2 things. Sorry, I forgot about the Audi Cup. Tottenham has won 2 second division titles compared to Juventus' 1. So yay, Tottenham is more prestigious.
Well, I'm not going to bring up the reason why they were down there. I feel like that's a low blow.
Bring up Calciopoli. We'll have a podcast about Calciopoli.
No, that's an unfair low. If we're talking about prestigiousness, that's not it.
We'll see.
That's not the way to win that argument.
We'll see how much you actually know about Calciopoli. Because I think that you would be surprised about all of the different aspects involved in Calciopoli that seems to be glossed over when we think about Calciopoli. But that's you got. Do you want to respond to any of that, Sean? No.
No.
All right. Well, that's
Europe is blue.
It's Tottenham of the Southeast. It's all right. They're just trophy cabinets, just more full.
I mean, that is kind of that's kind of how you judge a football club, right?
I said it on Twitter. Tottenham is Juventus without trophies. It is the same club.
This is unimaginable that you're doubling down.
I will triple, quadruple down. I'm not backing off.
Hey guys, guess what? Arsenal is Real Madrid. Just with red shirts.
Yeah.
Like it's an unimaginably bad take.
I'm backing off of this. It's a top 15 club in the world.
That's not in debate. But where do you rate Juventus? In the top 15?
Yeah, actually, probably like top 7, top 6.
I have them in the top 5. I have Juventus in the top 5. And
no way.
Yeah.
No way. No.
Yeah.
I can.
We're gonna do a tier list.
I can get to this next week.
I can get to 6. I can get to 6 right now.
Okay.
As far as world prestige, off the top of my head,
go. Give me those 6.
United, Liverpool, Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, AC Milan.
Okay, so you put AC Milan above Juventus.
Just in terms of global, recognizable, global brand, as far as prestige, as a whole. I'm not talking about just winning.
An argument could be made for
Arsenal.
AC Milan.
Arsenal might be ahead of Juventus.
I disagree.
That's close. That's close. That one's
crazy.
close.
You're crazy.
I don't think it's. I think it's much closer than Arsenal's much closer to Juventus than Tottenham is. But
100%.
We're not that many spots behind. I can tell you that.
All right, that's all we got.
Anyways, let's do this next week.
Yeah, well, not next week. This is the point.
Sorry, 2 weeks.
The point I'm going to
take a week off next week.
So yeah, we're not going to have a podcast next week. We're probably, now that we're into the summer, we're probably going to go to every 2 weeks would be my guess. We probably won't have a podcast every week because honestly, things are going to slow down a little bit. We might get more consistent again around the Euros. It's a possibility that we do a weekly podcast during the Euros. We probably won't do a weekly podcast during the Olympics, Brad, because the Olympics is not a real tournament, even though you want to keep talking about the Olympics. And the Olympics probably won't even happen this year because
like U12s.
Yeah. Anyway, but by the time the Olympics is going on, the Premier League will have started back up. So we'll be back to talking about the Premier League. But we'll be back every 2 weeks or so. Check in with us. We meant to tell you this at the top of the podcast, but I forgot. But definitely like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. If you're still listening, subscribe twice. Find a way to subscribe twice.
Unsubscribe and then subscribe again.
No, just get your girlfriend. Get your girlfriend to subscribe. Get your girlfriend to subscribe to
Make
us.
a fake account. Subscribe with that one.
Yeah. We don't care. We're not shameless. And give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Brad wants me to
both
tell
your
you.
accounts.
Yeah, exactly. Buy an iPhone and do an Apple Podcast review. That's the play.
Let's do it.
Amazing.
That's the play.
Get a burner phone. Sell drugs on it, and long as you.
Wait,
what?
Whoa! Don't do that. Just download iTunes.
I don't care what you do on the burner phone, but just rate and subscribe and thumbs up and all that.
He really is the new me. This is amazing.
We're going to see if we can edit that part out. But yeah, that's all we had. We really appreciate everyone who tunes in and listens and interacts with us. We really do appreciate that. We're having a lot of fun. We will definitely be coming back with more Red Card Radio because we love doing this. The three of us have such a good time. So please catch up with us again in the future. But we'll be back in a couple weeks with something new and interesting. We don't know what it is yet. We haven't decided. But it will be new and interesting. And if you want to have an input on what that is, let us know on Twitter, let us know on YouTube, whatever, however you can interact with. Text us if you know us personally. But
on your burner phone.
Yeah, on your burner phone. All right, that's it. That's all we got. Appreciate everyone who listens. Have a good night.
We are at redcard_radio. The man to my right is at James Tiffany.
What he
The man
said.
below me is at Whiteheart_Sean. And I am Champions of Europe at KS Brad G.
What he said. I forgot to say that, but do that.
Sign us off.
Get us. We're out. Thanks, guys.